welcome back to Project Z Garage. Today we're going to be working on the BMW, the F10, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be helping to do some protective coating or a protective film for these headlights. As we went over in the last video, these headlights are pretty expensive because they are LEDs and they're adaptive. As you can see, they're really nice headlights, and the last thing we want is these to get damaged. As we said, the car is not brand new, so there are some minor imperfections in the headlight already. You would like to use this protective film when you first got the car, or this is perfectly clean with no scratches or rock chips, but you know what, it will add a layer of protection to these headlights once they're on. Now the protective film that we're going to be using is the Lamin-X protective film. I got this from their website. Let's see what we have in the box. Now we got both the headlight and the fog lights. So this is just gonna be, I believe I got the regular clear film. They do have other colors, like there's a blue tint and a yellow tint. So it'll come in a box like this, and let's see what comes in the packaging. So now, again, this is the BMW. It's an F10 535i X-Drive. And you can see it comes with a knife. It comes with some spray, or the container to spray the headlights so that you can, get a good bond to the headlight. And so that you can move it around a little to adjust it. We're going to cut this open, and then we're going to lay out the film, see how it looks. Cut it there. Alright guys, so we have everything taken out of the bag. As you can see here, this is the different types of colors that they have. Do you want to come closer so you can see it? So we got the clear, but there's also a yellow, a blue, and two different types of tint. There's like a lightly dark one, and then there's this Gunsmoke, which is probably the darkest version. Now for this car, this would be the model, so if you go to the website, you should see it. It's B535. This car is a BMW 535 F10 model. Everything in the kit is laid out here. We have the two fog light covers, we got the two headlight covers. It comes with a squeegee. This is going to be a little spray bottle that you're going to put some water in. This is going to help you to position the film on the headlight, and it comes with a little X-Acto knife. I believe this is to cut off the little tabs here. So Lamin-X pretty much gives you everything you need to install these things, and it's pretty cool. So the whole point of these tabs is so that you would hold on to the tabs and not touch the actual film, and then at the end you will cut the tabs off with a knife. It also gives you this color instruction manual, so that it pretty much goes step by step on what you're supposed to do to install this film onto the headlights. So it's pretty straightforward. It gives you all the things you need. The only other things that you will need is a lint-free towel that doesn't come with the kit, and a hair dryer, which will help get some of the, I guess, pretty much to soften up the film. As you can see, it's wrapped around this cardboard tube for shipping purposes, so it doesn't get I guess any kinks in it. A good idea might be just to lay this out in the sun and let them flatten out a little bit. I might hit this with the hair dryer. I may put something on them just so that they kind of start laying flatter before we start. But that pretty much goes over everything in the kit and what comes with the Lamin-X system here. The first thing we're going to do next is, even though the car's been washed and this headlight's been washed, we're going to go over it with a little bit of maybe some polish and a rag, just to really clean it up, get any type of stains or dust or dirt on the headlight off. And then we're going to hit it with some alcohol, just to get any type of chemicals off the headlight, because the last thing you want is to have some sort of chemical film from polishes, waxes on this headlight when you put the Lamin-X film on, because that will cause it to peel later on and probably give you problems with the install. Alright, so let's first work on getting this headlight cleaned up, and then we'll start once we're ready to put the film on. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on the fog light first, because that seems easier to do than the headlight. So let's see if we can get that one done first. So what I did was I took the hair dryer and I heated up the fog light film from Lamin-X. And Al's right now is using some filtered water just to wipe off the fog light before we start putting on the film. So we want to make sure it's pretty clean, no smudges, no nothing on it. And we're going to put a light film of water on the actual fog light. And if it's hot enough, they say you could put a little bit a spray of water on the adhesive side of the film, just to help you position the fog light of the Lamin-X film on the fog light. So Al's taking it off the backing. He's going to hold the tab so this way you don't put any fingerprints in it, and he's just going to position it where it needs to be. And what we want to do is work from the center out and kind of make sure that we're where we're happy with it. And he's just trying right now just to get it to stick a little in the center, push that water out.
I gotta put a little heat on it.
And then we're gonna hit it with some heat.
I'm lowering it over.
Okay.
Make sure I'm off the edges.
And before you push it too far in, we're going to get the knife and we're going to trim around the edges to get those tabs off, now that we positioned it where we want it to be. The kit came with a little X-Acto knife to use.
You want to hold that edge for me?
And then let me hold this edge right here.
Okay. Pull straight left, yeah.
And then we're just going to work our way around with the hair dryer and putting pressure, trying to get all the water out. You can also use the squeegee, which also came in the kit, and just work your way around from the center out. It probably would be easier if we could got that plastic trim off, but it was in there pretty hard, so we said, hey, let's see if we can get it on without removing the trim, which I think pretty much this is meant to be. You know, you're not supposed to have to take anything off, but if you have the ability to, then do it. It will make your life a little easier.
Hair dryer.
All right, add some more heat.
Put the top in.
And it's gonna take a little while. You just gotta keep working it around.
Get the water and the bubbles out.
Get all the bubbles, water out, all the, if you have any creases.
The heat will help with the creases.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting a piece of film on a not a concave, but a, what would you call it, Al?
No, you're right. It's got a curve to it.
It has a curve to it, so you're gonna get a little.
It's gotta conform to it.
Yeah.
These bubbles are gonna be a pain in the ass, but. Want me to heat again?
Yeah, we are using a hair dryer, not a heat gun, just so that we don't put too much heat and damage the film or your headlight or fog light or the plastic, because those heat guns can put out a lot of heat, and if you're not careful with it, you could damage something. So it's better to just use a hair dryer, because I don't think it'll heat it to the temperature where it would damage anything, but still want to be careful.
I think that's good.
All right, guys, so here's the first look. And Al's still working out some little bubbles at the very edge, but you know what, that looks pretty good, man. And especially the fog lights, they really take a beating on the highway from rock chips and, you know, just wear and tear. So this layer of protection, this added little layer of protection, is great to have on your car. So this is the fog light covers from Lamin-X. Next, we're gonna start working on the headlights. This is gonna be a big pain, but we're gonna try our best to get it as good as we can. So I was just gonna give it a little spray, and we're gonna wipe it down, and then we'll do a little mist, because we want to get any type of smudges or fingerprints off the headlight before you put the Lamin-X film on. And once we're completely done, I'll give it a good hit with the hair dryer just to make sure all the edges are sticking properly and we have a good adhesion to the headlight. So the tabs definitely help you to position it and not get any fingerprints on the film. Just take your time, be careful, you know. So now we're gonna put a light film on the headlights, which I was doing. That's good. And we're gonna get the film out. I mean, Al did it last time. He got part of it off.
And grab that end. Measure up, like, check your size of it.
That's not. It's the other way.
This way?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we want to try to position it as best as you can. I mean, there is extra on this film, so you will need to trim it.
Oh, we're way too low.
What we found out, the best thing to do is work from the center out. I think you have to go a little higher.
We do have to go higher. Pull up, right? Lift your hand up a little. Lift it up. That's too high. Still too high. God damn. This is gonna be a pain in the ass.
See, I feel like this side. No, this side's still. We just gotta angle it. I think you gotta come a little more to me. But now we want to work from the center out. We don't want to put anything on the side yet, so that we can push the water out. Now let's put a little bit of water on the front of the film. This will help lubricate when you're using a squeegee on it, so we don't put any scratches. And just work from the center out. once you got the positioning right. And that's all we're gonna do is just work on the center, make sure we get all the bubbles as much as we can. Worst case scenario is if you still have bubbles after you did this for a while, you could take a needle and puncture the bubble to get the liquid out. And from the directions from Lamin-X, they said it should heal itself kinda, or it should re-adhere, and it'll fill in those so you can't see those pinholes that you put in. But as you can see, you gotta slowly pull up. You don't want to stretch this film. In the directions they say they don't want you to stretch it. You want it to lay pretty loose or relaxed onto the headlight. There's more than enough extra, so once you get it positioned correctly, you should still have a little extra at the ends. But it just takes time, you know. You're gonna slowly work your way out from the center to the front of the headlight to the back of the headlight, and then work your way to the edge, you know, taking your time to try to get all the air bubbles and water out from behind it. And now this car, you know, we do have some imperfections in the headlight, so that might show up on the film. So like right there where Al just touched, there's a rock chip, so that might fill in with a little bit of water. But what we'll do is we'll put a pin in it and try to squeeze the water out and put some heat on it to try to get it to adhere and get the water dried out from behind the film. And again, guys, this is not an exact science, you know. You gotta take your time, and you know, I think you'll get good results as long as you take your time. And after we're happy with the way this lays on the headlight, we'll start trimming off the tabs and the excess film. Like I stated earlier, this would have been best to done once if the car was brand new, or you know, you put a new lens on the headlight when it's like in pretty much perfect condition. Now it's a little difficult because we do have some rock chips in it, and I'm just looking to protect it for the long run. And this film is very thick, so if any rocks hit it, it'll absorb a lot of that hit, and hopefully save the headlight. Now you might see some haziness behind the film. From what I'm told is that should go away in a couple of days once it completely cures. And you want it to be if you could put the car in the sun and have it, you know, heat up really well with the sun, that should help it too. So my plan is to kind of hit it really good with the hair dryer, and we're gonna want to keep this, you know, 24 to 48 hours out of any type of weather so it cures properly. And Al's just working his way. Now Lamin-X also offers a protective spray for this film. Let me see if I can get it on the direction so you can see. So here's the aftercare. They sell this multi-purpose, multi-protectant to shield the Lamin-X film from UV rays, chemicals, you know, insect acids, other harmful elements. So I think, you know, that's also an option you could do. We might, you know, do that just to help the longevity of the film. And I think, you know, you shouldn't be scared to work the film. If you need to pull it up again, you know, just take your time. Don't just yank on it. Slowly pull it back up if you need to get any water bubbles out. And I think the hair dryer, the needle, and the squeegee are your biggest friends right now while doing this. Yeah, still a little bit here that we're gonna have to work out. I feel a little bit on there, so we're gonna keep working at it, but it looks pretty good. And once we're done, we're gonna take that X-Acto and we're gonna follow the fender line here where the headlight and the fender meet. There's a gap, and then we're gonna put the X-Acto knife in there and just trim it down. And once that's done, we're gonna go back over with the hair dryer and the squeegee, and we'll push those in and make sure that the edges are well adhered to the headlight. Alright guys, so we finished putting on the headlight film from Lamin-X and the fog light film, and it was definitely not an easy thing to do, and we do have some air bubbles that we couldn't get out, but they said to give it a couple of days. We did use the pin technique and try to get as much out of it as we could. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of days, see if it gets any better once the sun hits it and it gets heated up and everything cures, and see if it clears up more. But fog lights came out, I think, pretty good. We didn't have much of an issue with those. It really is just the headlights. It's a big piece to get this Lamin-X on. It definitely could be our fault. Maybe we did something wrong, but for the most part, it doesn't look bad. It will protect the headlight, but I'm gonna probably hit it again with some with the hair dryer and just let it cure in the sun for a couple of days. Hopefully it'll clear up. I'll definitely if anything, at the end of this video I'll put some more video more clips of it once it's cured all the way, and see if it does clear up more. But overall it's not bad. I think it's definitely, having that extra protection on the headlight is definitely a good thing. But let's see what happens in a couple of days. Alright guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you keep following us, and we'll have more videos on the BMW. Okay guys, as you can see, it's a couple weeks later. Actually, it's a little more than a month later, and the film has fully cured. We left it in the sun, and it's now pretty clear. You can tell it's way better. It looks really good. It'll protect the headlight, and I think this is a really good investment for anyone that has a brand new car, or even trying to save your headlights from getting any more rock chips and damage as you're driving. So guys, again, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.